Hello, hi ladies, and welcome to this video. And if you're watching this on YouTube, hello. I'm doing this in my Facebook group for women over 40. It's called Women Creating Healthy Lives. So if you're not watching this there, come and join us. That is where I really hang out most of the time, post recipes, tell you what I eat in a day, show you what I'm eating and tell you how I did it and all that, and do trainings. Sometimes we do like a 7-day start your day the healthy way free challenge, things like that. Like I do, that is really where I hang out. So it's a free Facebook group for women over 40 called Women Creating Healthy Lives. If you're not watching from in there, come and join us there. And for those watching from my Facebook group, I also have a YouTube channel with close to 800 videos, I believe, on it now. So make sure to check that out. And on my website, dianamarchand.com, I have some amazing trainings. One on how to prep and plan to eat healthy all week, and the other one on 3 keys to midlife weight loss, which is an incredible 3-video series that gives you so much information. You get some recipes and you get some handouts that are really are going to help you through this midlife phase and beyond and help you to understand it. Okay, I'm just going to go on the Facebook page and let them know I'm live. And this is going to be a really cool video. We are, you can grab a pen and paper if you want, because I have some questions for you to answer. We're going to really think about how you want to start and how you want to be in this new year, and learning really. I'm going to kind of review what I've learned in 2020, how it changed me. And I think it really did change so many people. Right? And for some people, they'll say it was the worst year they ever went through. And I've kind of grown a lot through it. And I definitely don't say it's the worst year. I definitely, there was things about it that I didn't like, but they taught me so much. And in December, I've experienced so much joy and abundance and a wellness and feeling so good, because that's what I chose to do. So it really was a learning throughout the whole year that I really get to choose my inner state, right? And that's what we're going to talk a lot about too. So let's just see if the internet on my phone, my computer is going to work. And if you could come on, even watching the replay, make sure to say hello. It's interesting because some people, this just doesn't want to, my internet. Some people I don't even really set goals. Like I'm more so intentions. We're going to talk about intentions, how you desire to live your life, how you desire to feel, to be. And it really is crazy when I think that some people don't even pay attention to this. They just go about their life and let life happen to them and say, well, there's nothing really I can do. I'm too old. It's too late because of what's going on in the world. What's the point of planning? And I don't plan really either. But if you don't have intentions, if you don't have really, we're going to talk about values and learning really what's important to you and starting to live in a way where you nourish what's important to you, where you live by your values, right? So health and freedom are 2 of my biggest values. So I live and arrange my life and make decisions in my life in alignment with being healthy and having freedom in my life. So for those who maybe not have experienced a really good year last year, who are at a place where they're like, oh my God, I don't know if I don't really like it, feeling like kind of like they're stuck, or what's the point of doing anything? Listen to this. You need to make some changes, and that's most of the changes need to happen the way you think, right? And that's usually it. We need to look at, what are we thinking? Like, oh my God, that creates everything, right? What are we thinking? What are we believing? How are you living your life? And we're going to talk about being healthy and food and all that too, but you need to have your head around it. All right. Okay, let me just write I'm on live now. And I'm going to put this up on YouTube, so it'll be up on YouTube. Put it also as always in this group. So if you're watching from YouTube, hello. So happy to have you here, and make sure to comment. Let me know that you've watched, and also answer some of the questions that I'll be posting. Okay. So new year, new you, right? And do you say that every year, right? Some people I know I tend to say that every single year. And even now, I can be thinking about things I want to create in my life and bring about in my life. And then I'll go, oh, come on, Diana, you said that last year and you never did it. Well, last year was a different year, but anyways, for those types of things. But it's about not getting discouraged and not saying because it never hasn't happened, it means that I'll never do it. So not shaming yourself, not being judgmental of yourself, not saying, well, I never stick to anything, or, don't be hard on yourself. Let's just delete that. Delete, erase. Let's start new. That's why I love beginnings. I'm somebody who loves first dates. I'm somebody who loves going on the first few dates. I love beginnings. To me, they're the most exciting thing. I love and think about change as always good. So sometimes people are afraid to change because they're thinking, I don't know if I change what's going to be ahead of me, right? If I change, will it get worse? Will things be worse? Hi, Rebecca. How you doing? Happy New Year. Will things get worse? And what I want you to think of is change equals good, because you would not create change. You are creating change. So the change you get to create, you would not create something bad for yourself. We're talking today about choices and being empowered, okay? You get to make the choices. You get to be empowered over your life. So of course, even if you don't know what's ahead of you and you're scared to make that change, trust yourself, have faith, and know that you will make the changes because you're choosing to make positive changes. You're not going to just all of a sudden fall off, slip up, and make a whole bunch of bad choices and end up way worse than you are now. No. And when you think that, that's in your head, when that's a possibility, what's happening is that's your inner child. You got to realize, oh man, my inner child's fear has been causing you to think certain ways, has been running your life, most likely. Only a child would be afraid, wouldn't be able to trust herself to make good choices, right? You take it step by step. If you slip a bit, if something's uncomfortable, if something isn't working, you course correct. As adults, we can handle it. So what are you really afraid of? If you're afraid to make change, or if you're staying where you are because you feel, at least I know this pain. The pain of the unknown is so uncomfortable to me. You need to change. Fear and excitement are pretty much the same energy. Fear is when you expect the worst. Excitement is when you're looking forward to something better. But they're the same energy. So fear is just looking ahead and going, oh my God, what if this is going to be worse? Oh my God, what if? And excitement is, oh my God, I can't wait to see what's ahead. I can't wait to find out what I get to do. This is going to be amazing. This is going to be exciting. And new years, we get to start with that excitement, right? So you get to choose excitement over fear. You get to choose and trust yourself that you can create something, at least start. You don't have to be perfect. No one is perfect. You start where you are, being who you are, trusting, growing to trust yourself, growing in respect for yourself, growing in confidence. Hi, Shannon. How are you? Growing in confidence, all of those things. As you progress, you grow as a person, you change as a person, you learn to handle the situations that come up for you, right? So start your new year with excitement instead of, oh my God, what's going to be ahead? The fear. Remember, they're the same energy. Fear is expectation of something getting worse. Excitement is expectation it's going to get better. And 2021, I think a lot of people are like, oh my God, what's going to happen? I'm about like this. And they're just sitting there waiting to hear from the world. No. For one, you should never be that way, no matter what year in the past or what year in the future. Okay? You start by deciding how you desire your life to be, sending out those intentions. If you don't tell God, source, the universe, and yourself kind of where you desire to go, then what's going to happen is you're going to get taken over, and your life's going to get taken over by other people, other things, energies, and you're just going to go, oh my God, I just don't know what happened. I thought my life would be in this direction. I thought I'd be doing this. I thought things would get better. I was hoping I would be able to do this, but none of that happened. But that's only your fault, Okay, that's only your fault. Now, last year we had some crazy things. So let's say if someone wanted to start like a brick and mortar, that might have gotten interrupted, right? Or you had a little restaurant and that got interrupted. I'm not talking about those things, right? Because that was something that was kind of out of our control, but we also get to come back in within ourselves and realize so much is the control is in here. So last year I was faced with some of my biggest triggers. I grew as a person so much. My inner child was freaking out last year. My inner child was ruling me for quite a while. She is somebody, my inner child, and I want you guys to think about your inner child too. Like I want what we're talking about now is what are you grateful for now? And what lessons did you learn last year? These are things to think about, right? What are you grateful for now? Of course, we always write that out, right? And then what were some of your lessons? Like for me, my inner child last year was rebelling because of loss of freedom. No one in my life, and it never happened before where it was like, you can't go to a coffee shop. You can't go to a gym. The restaurants were all closed like that. Those were all gone. And I had no choice but to stay home. And I don't like to stay home. I didn't like to stay home. I used to always go for coffee in the morning. And when that couldn't happen, I was furious. Also, not being able to travel. I was furious. I'm like, no one can tell me I can't do what I want to do, right? So my inner child came up fiercely last year. I was to the point, and I'm serious, where I was like, I don't want to live. I don't want to live. If this is how I'm going to have to live, I'm done. I don't want to live. Honest to God, I was that way. I said, I don't want to live like this. I'm not living. This is not living to me. I will not live like this. When all the shutdowns happened, I was absolutely true. That was my truth. That was my truth. I didn't know what to do because I did not want to live like that. And I had a boyfriend at that time, thank God. I wasn't depressed. I was angry. Right? And what I realized was, wow, you are so conditional. I like my life when I get to do what I want to do. Oh my God, right? That's my little child. She was always like that. If she didn't want to do something, if someone said she couldn't do it, she would do it. I would rip apart a room. I would do anything to do what I wanted to do. I didn't care the consequence. The consequences didn't matter to me, right? I just insisted I was going to do what I wanted to do and the consequences didn't matter. So that's the way I was growing up. That inner child was still in me and it's still in me. And 2020, she came out loud, fierce, roaring and ready to fight. But there was no one to fight and there was no way she could do what she wanted to do. So it caused me for the adult to take over. It was finally realization, crying, fighting, fits of anger, headaches like crazy because my inner battle, mad at myself, screaming, crying, feeling like a victim. And finally I was like, no. Finally it was more peace, right? The adult in me finally said, enough. Stop being such a child. As the inner child, I will take over. My adult finally said, I'm taking over. You are a child. You're safe. I will take care of you. It's my turn to live this life. Because I was living from my child. I didn't even realize it. So look back and wow, what are the lessons you've learned? It has caused me to become way more peaceful. Way more, I can experience joy and peace and happiness no matter what is going around me, and I never could before. I had to learn how to be grateful, happy, peaceful, and joyful within, no matter if I didn't like what was going on around me, because I had to practice that every single day. Even now when I go to grocery stores and go to those places and have to wear a mask, because I myself don't believe in that. I know I may get a lot of backlash. I don't think we need to. I think this is all overblown. So it is a test for me to walk into those and see how much our society has changed. I'm furious inside, but I don't feel that anger or fury or anything inside. I send in peace and send out love and just choose to be like, the world is changing, and I know it's changing for the better, and I'm excited what's to come, and I'm excited for the future, and I'm going to work on me, and I'm excited for what I want to do in my future, and I'm excited to plan my future, and I'm excited for what is ahead of me. And I work on gratitude, happiness, and joy every single day, and releasing anger, fear, resentment, all of that, right? So what did you learn last year? What have you learned? How have you grown? Right? How did it change you? Instead of thinking of the worst, think of the positive. What came out of this? Oh my God. Like I do not like what went on. I'm going to say it, like, I'm not happy with that at all. I think it's horrible that businesses were shut. I think it's horrible that little restaurants are suffering. I think it's horrible that local businesses, I think it's terrible. I have absolutely, but if I continually focus on that and fighting, so what you resist persists, right? So we need to let go of the resist. It's time for us to go more internal, right? So I'll write out those questions, and then we're going to work towards talking about your values. And if you're wanting to move into the new year, okay, it's time, right? It's time for me to work on my health, maybe to lose some weight, to eat healthier, all that. We're going to talk about that coming up too. So we are going to talk about that. I just really want you guys to get clear on, instead of, like, we tend to focus on how bad last year was and how hard it was for us. But I really want you to get something like, man, okay, wow, I have grown. Have you grown? And if not, maybe it's time that you learn some of these lessons that were there for you, because we all experienced this for a reason. One. So what are you grateful for in 2020? What lessons did you learn? And mostly about yourself. What have you overcome? And that was like I overcame, right? The needing to be conditional, having my life look perfect or be perfect so that I'm happy. I'm happy when I can do what I want, right? Basically, that's the way I was. Oh, I love it when the weather's nice. That makes me happy. And it makes me happy when I can go to a restaurant or a cool patio and sit outside. That makes me happy. So when those things were taken away, I was not happy. I was like, okay, I'm not happy. I'm not a happy person, right? And I didn't realize, oh, my hair looks pretty good today, that you can be a happy person no matter what's going on around you. I did not know that, and I didn't know how to be that happy person. Hi, Ruth. Hi, you guys. How you doing? Until now, right? So I've learned a lot. I've grown a lot. I appreciate the things I've gone through so much, but I don't like what happened. As in, like, again, I'm talking about the businesses and what happened to the businesses. I'm just really have a hard time with that. So here's another question. What struggle did you have, and how did you work through it? Spelling. So I want you to work on these questions if you have the time. I'll put them all in the comments, and these are things you can journal on today. Hi, Jen. Hello, hello. So I'm putting questions in the comments and things that you guys, I have some questions here and things we're going to talk about to focus on moving forward and to reflect upon. Now, what struggle? I told you guys, if you're just jumping on, the first part of the video was really good. I talked about things I've learned, and in 2020, how I was and how much I've changed. Truly, I've changed so much for a better person. I love being around my home now. Never in my life, ever was I satisfied sitting at home. I was antsy. I didn't like it. I need to get out. I need to be where the action is, on and on, right? I'm much more at peace now. And I think what we're all looking for is peace and happiness within. And that's what I found last year, 2020. And oh my God, I hope that for you guys so much. So don't give up. Okay. What did you realize, which is kind of what we talked about again, and how have things changed for you? I'm going to write those in there too. Yeah, what did you realize? So I would love you guys, if you want to share anything in the comment. I know there's only 2 here, but also if you're watching the replay, share what you've learned. Share some of the struggles you went through. Are you still dealing with, because there is fallouts like people not being able to work and so struggling with not having the money and all of those things. Like that is a struggle, right? And so I'm definitely not saying, oh, everything was just rosy and everything. No, no, no. In challenges is when we're faced with how we react. So how we react to challenges and how we react to things that happen to us is how we grow, right? Is how we grow. So we get to choose. How am I going to move through this? What am I going to learn? How am I going to overcome this aspect? Even if I don't know right now, can I trust God, source, universe, myself to be able to overcome this? And that answer should be yes, right? So if it's not, it's about believing faith, trust. It's about building the faith, trust, belief in yourself. And that you got to realize that's the most important thing. So if you're not at that level yet, that's one of the lessons you get to learn. You get to build that faith, trust, and belief in yourself and a higher power that you can handle everything. Anything that comes your way, you can handle it. And you probably know that deep down, right? So values we're going to talk about. Values are, so it's my dog every time. Come here. Come here. He insists on getting antsy when he doesn't get my attention. And he wants, oopsie, you're in my necklace. You want to say hello? Say hello and Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Hello. You're such a cuddle bun. He's so cute right now. His hair. But anyways, values. So when you say, let's say, I want to eat healthy next year, I want to get healthier, I want to feel better, maybe I want to lose weight, I want to start exercising again, all of this kind of stuff. It's time to look at what have you been doing? How haven't you had it in your life? Why haven't you had that in your life? What has been in your life, right? So what is more... what do you spend your time doing is what you value, okay? So if you're that type of person who's like, I don't really have time to even make a healthy meal. I'm like on the go all the time. I'm working all these crazy hours. I don't know how I would do that. Oh my God, that would mean hours in the kitchen. I just grab something fast. I don't get hungry. Don't eat during the day because I don't think about it. I work all the way through all those things. Then your value is work. Your value is work. And your value is the prestige or the honor or the notoriety you get from work. And so because work is one of your top values, like being a hard worker, being seen as a hard worker, being seen as someone who contributes to society. Somehow you were raised and your belief pattern was working. Oh, she's a hard worker. She does well. Look at all those hours she's worked, all those things. So that's a value. Look at, well, okay, how is this my value? Because it's a priority. You don't put things as a priority if they're not one of your highest values, even if it's something not good. So let's say, but if somebody, what would be something else? If they say they want to exercise, but yet when you get home from work, you end up on the couch drinking some wine and scrolling through Facebook. Okay. Sometimes you would say, well, how that's value. What that is you value time for you, downtime and time for you. And you don't have that in your life. So how you create it in your life is by having that time on the couch scrolling through Facebook with wine. Telling yourself you're doing that because you're too stressed and too tired. So you're saying, I do that because I'm too stressed and too tired, so I can't exercise and I'm too tired to make food. But actually, it's because you're craving time for you, that downtime. that gives you. So that's a priority. So then what you get to do is go, oh, wow, okay, so I really value time for me, special time for me, which everybody needs that. Don't be ashamed of it. Don't say you don't have time to do that because you're just taking time to do it now, right? So then you use that time not as an excuse. Oh my God, I'm so stressed. I'm so tired. I just got to sit here and scroll Facebook. But to go, wow, I get to have like 10, 15 minutes when I get home from work to just sit, maybe journal, maybe, I'd suggest not really scrolling, but because what you're doing is you're living someone else's life when you scroll Facebook instead of your own. So what you could choose to do is say, I'm going to sit and I'm going to read, let's say, a book you love, or I'm going to journal, write out some gratefulness, or sit and just breathe. Even if you have a glass of wine, who cares? Just don't use wine as an excuse, and don't use wine as like an addiction and all of that. If you sit, enjoy yourself. I journal with a cup of coffee in the morning. I don't go like, oh my God, I should not be drinking coffee. I'm so ashamed I drink coffee. No, that's my time. That's my downtime. I love it. It brings me joy, right? I don't use it as an excuse, right? So if you like when you get home from work and you want to just sit for 10, 15 minutes and you want to have a glass of wine or whatever, you just sit there and you enjoy that time and you soak it in, and you just love that you spend that time, love that you take that time for yourself, right? So notice what you spend your time doing. What do you really value? And then I want you to look at, how is that in alignment with what I desire to bring into or to be in 2021? So my values are freedom, health, and joy. Freedom, number one, freedom of choice mostly. It doesn't mean freedom from a relationship, right? It doesn't mean I just want to be single because I want to be free. It means, hi, Sheila. It means I value freedom, the freedom of choice, the freedom of what I get to do in this world. I get to change my mind. I love changing my mind. Freedom to change my mind. Freedom to do the work I love. Things like that. That's what I value most of all. And I talked about earlier in the video, I would change anything to have freedom. I have no consequences. I will lose all my money for freedom. I will, lose a boyfriend for freedom. I'll do all of that. Like, to me, freedom's one. And then health. To me, I've linked health with freedom. I need health to have freedom. So therefore, health is a huge priority for me. It's not hard because it's such a huge priority, right? So you are going to spend time doing things that are priority for you. So if you're saying, oh my God, I really want to eat healthy, I haven't done it and I haven't done it again, then what have you been spending your time doing? What is your priority? What is your value? And if you're desiring, write down, right? What do I desire then for the new year? If it is, I want to get fit. Some people don't even write, I just want to lose a bit of excess weight. I want to have more energy. I want to feel more vibrant. I want to feel more at peace. I want to live with more joy. Things like that. Write those down. And then it's like, how am I stopping myself from experiencing those things? Because you are. Not your job, not your husband, not your kids, not your life. They're not stopping you. They're not stopping you, right? More joy every day. Certainly no one's stopping you from experiencing that. Because I learned over this last year that I can experience joy no matter what's happening on the outside of me. And I seriously never thought that could happen for me. I really was conditional, right? So if you're saying, yeah, but, you're living conditional, right? Like, I will feel this when. I will have this when. And it is hard to overcome that. But there's no going around it. It's a realization of, wow, I'm very conditional. It's usually the inner child, the younger child, that is conditional. Because that's the way kids live. I'm cranky, I need to eat. Life's not good, I need to eat. Right? I want that toy. And if I don't get that toy, I'm mad. I'm so mad. So if you react in those ways over certain things, you're acting from your inner child. Just note that. Sorry. First thing in the morning. I don't know why I'm like this. I had no dairy. I have no dairy. No peanut butter. I don't know what causes this in the morning. I literally have no idea. I did have shortbread cookies that I made, but even when I don't, I have this. So what are your values? Anybody want to share anything below? What do you want to create for next year? And then you look at, if I want this for next year, if I want this in my life, if I want my life to be like this, if I want to be like this, if I want to look like that, what types of things in my life do I need to have? Like, do I need to set up? What would that look like, right? If you want to eat healthier, then it's like, okay, well, then I get to buy healthy foods and I get to make healthy things for myself. That's really all it is. Instead of this big, huge story around it, how you don't have time and you don't do this and you don't do that. You want to go down, sweetie? Say hello. So what would you get to create, and what do you get to create in your life, if for whatever you want? Excuse me, God. So for 2021, what am I creating? I'm changing my business a bit. So you guys will see that. Yeah. Totally, Jen. That's exactly. This is crazy. Oh my God. It goes away by like noon. If that's exactly what Jen said. So you want, let's say, to exercise, eat healthy, feel so vibrant, feel energetic, look youthful, feel youthful, do all those wonderful things. Yet you're working at a job that completely stresses you out and there's so many hours. You're feeling like you have no time to yourself. You're frustrated, you're resentful because no one helps you out. All of those things. That's a conflict. That is like, you know what you desire, but all the things in your life are in opposition to it. And so you're mad, you're frustrated, you're feeling the disconnect, you're feeling like there's something not right. This is not in alignment. It totally takes away your energy. It sucks energy from you. So what happens often is women would say, I'm just so tired. Like, I just don't have the energy. I don't feel motivated. I don't feel inspired. And that's because you're living against your soul. You're living in a way that your soul is like, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. This isn't for you. Sending you these signals all the time, right? And you feel that and you're pushing them down and you're pushing that inner voice down and you're pushing that inner voice down. And that's exhausting. And you're fighting with yourself. I know I want to do this. I should be doing this, but I'm doing this instead. And I don't have any time. Oh my God, I'm so mad I don't have any time. Why can't I exercise? Why don't I just eat healthy? Why do I keep eating these cookies? Right? That's such a fight. It leaves you exhausted. It leaves you mad at yourself, not trusting yourself, frustrated with yourself. And then you give up because you're like, I'm just the type of person that I can't follow through. I don't trust myself anymore. So then you don't even join a program like one of mine because you're like, because I won't follow through. I won't do it. Right? So let's not have that. Let's have the awareness that that's been a pattern. And then you get to go, oh my God, I get to release that pattern. I get to see when it comes up in my life. When does that pattern pop up? And then what am I now choosing, right? What am I now choosing? And then come from an empowered place. I am powerful. I'm going to begin to make certain other choices. I'm going to begin to take certain actions. I'm going to begin to think about things differently instead of, oh my God, I'm too tired to exercise. What a chore. I don't like the gym. I hate this. I don't want to do this, right? To more like, wow, how can I move my body today? What would feel good? What would feel good to my body right now? Like if I took a walk, that would feel good. Maybe I'm going to sit down and stretch. That would feel really nice, right? I'm going to go do some stairs. I'm going to, whatever, right? Ask yourself, what would my body like to do right now? And if it needs to rest, then let it rest. But when you begin to rest, if it doesn't feel, if you're like, oh no, this isn't really what I want, then again, what do I really feel like right now? That's my dog. Just a minute, you guys. Oh my God. Okay. And I still have my pajama pants on. I'm keeping these pants on because I'm not going out right now. It's terrible outside. Windy, cold, rainy. Does anybody want to share what they are planning, what they are intending for next year? What are some of your intentions for next year? And for those, I'm changing my business a bit. I want to have a 3-month program next year and about an 8-week one. The 3-month is for people who are like, it's a transformation. It's transformational. Transform. I think I'm going to call it transform because it's working on body, mind, spirit, and it's a 3-month journey to transform yourself from the inside out. Exercise, the food, the mindset, stress reduction, practices, habits, little rituals, life, all of that, right? It's like where you are now, where you desire to be. Let's build that for you in your life. Because each person is going to live it in a different way. Each person desires something different. Each person has a different life. You, as a person, get to have clarity on what you desire. And we're going to get rid of I can't, this, that, right? Get clarity on what you really desire. And it doesn't have to be big. It can just be, oh my God, if I could live each day feeling joy and peace and love the food I eat and feel more energy and feel more vibrant, then that's huge. That's fantastic. Can you imagine living like that every day? Great. It's going to improve every aspect of your life. So getting clarity on what you want, how you want to live your life. Sorry, guys. This is really bad today. I don't know how to change it. Getting rid of this junk that holds you down, that is limiting beliefs, that tells you can't. Moving into more of an excitement instead of fear, like, oh, I'm looking forward to having this in my life. I'm looking forward to my life being like this. I'm excited that I get to create this in my life because it's it's going to fit into your life. It's not about you need to do this so many times a week. You need to eat only these foods. That's not how I work. You design your life. Your life. We work together to create that for you. That's how it is. Every person's different, right? Every person's different. And in my programs, I don't tell you to eat paleo. I don't tell you to eat vegan. I don't tell you to eat vegetarian. I don't tell you to eat anything. You find what works for you. We find what works for you. And when you eat in a way that works right for you, oh my God, well, of course that's good because it's the right way of eating for you. It's going to change everything for you. Your energy levels, your cravings, your balance your body because you're eating right for you. And then you're working on things to decrease your stress and feel more peace, joy, and calm inside. So little habits and rituals that help you do that. And that is what's required to also bring your body back into better balance. Your emotions, your thoughts, all of those are energy. When you think an emotion, it creates chemicals within your body that changes your state of your body. So what you think and how you think is really important and really changes everything for you too. And then my 2-month program is going to be for women who have taken my program before, and it's about, let's bring it to the next level. You haven't been eating healthy. Maybe you've gained some weight. You haven't been exercising much. It's time to get back to it. Time to try intermittent fasting, a little bit of a juice or smoothie cleanse, changing up the way you eat, breaking you through that plateau, more energy, more weight loss. If you want to do more exercise in a way, because I'm a personal trainer too, where you get like fitter body, more strength training, things like that, working in that way where it's just like bumping it up to that next level because you're like, I need to get back on track. Boom. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to get in better shape. I'm going to, guided accountability, a little bit of an action plan that we set up for you and you work towards it, as well as mindset, because your mind is usually what holds you back. Otherwise, everybody would, once you gave them what to do, they'd just do it. But we know that doesn't happen, right? So what do you want to create for 2021? What are your thoughts around it? If you don't feel it's possible, it's not going to be possible. You can either sit in that and say, well, okay, am I going to sit and it's not possible? I don't believe it. I might as well give up. Then what? And you know what happens when you're saying that? What it means is, yeah, you're stuck in victim mode. Poor me. I can't change anything. I'm just helpless and hopeless. I used to be that way. Do you want to live? Man, I wish I could change this. Do you want to live till like you're 95 and then by 95 you're going to look back on your life and go, wow, what the hell was I doing? I felt so sorry for myself that I didn't even make the changes, and they were not hard. Why was I so stubborn? Why did I feel the need to stay stuck, to feel in that to stay in that victim way? To tell myself, once I start eating a box of crackers, I can't stop. Once I have one cookie, I need to have 10. That's so ridiculous. No, you don't. No, you don't. Stop saying that's the way you are, right? I am the type of person who, what are you saying about yourself? That's a good, I'm going to write that down too. I want you guys to write out those statements. So when you write down, I am the type. I had a friend over last night. We had chickpea quinoa soup, broccoli, and some new potatoes from the garden. I had 2 ciders, which normally I don't. I ate healthy. So I am the type of person who, right? I'm the type of person who. So that would be, I'm the type of person who is on again, off again. I'm the type of person who starts exercise, I do really well, and then life happens and I stop. I'm the type of person who eats really good, but then I have to go to a wedding or a party and then I eat a whole bunch of cake and I give up because really, what's the point? Right? I'm the type of person who, when I have a stressful day, I have to come home and have some wine, and then I end up eating bread, and then I end up eating cheese, and you know how that goes. I'm just that type of person, right? So look at, what are you saying to yourself? I'm just the type of person who. And then you want to say like, well, then what type of person do I want to be? Because I don't have to be like that. I'm just making a choice to be that. Because that's your inner child. Your inner child is saying to you, you've had such a stressed day. You deserve this. You've had such a stressed day. Are you kidding? You're not going to come home and make a beautiful, healthy meal. That would be ridiculous. You deserve a break. You deserve it. Most of the time, it's you deserve a break. Because you're not allowing yourself to have breaks, to have time for yourself, right? So take those things of what you say and go further with them and discover, wow, what's really behind it? What do I really want then? Right? If I really don't want to binge on these things, why am I doing it? What do I really want? What is that cookie giving you? Most likely it's like some sort of power. You feel out of control in some aspect of your life. I can't control this in my life, but I can come home and have a box of cookies because I'm choosing it. I'm going to have it. I want it. They taste good. Screw you. That's usually what's behind it. So it's not the cookie. It's the, feel like I've lost my power. I can't control this in my life. I'm cranky. I'm bitchy. I'm going to show you. But then you're harming yourself, right? So we get mad at ourselves because we can't control something. I'm mad at myself because I'm putting up with this in my life. I shouldn't be putting up with this in my life. So I'm ashamed that I am. I'm feeling horrible about myself. So I'm going to go and eat those cookies. That's what's behind it. Because you feel you've lost power. You're mad at yourself for not having power over that situation, over yourself, allowing yourself to be taken, let's say, go on this whole route, Let's say if it's a boss who's really demanding, you're working too many hours, you're doing things you know you shouldn't do, or it's somebody in your life who you're doing too much for and you're frustrated and you're angry about that and they're taking up all your time and you're like, but you don't want to say no to them. All of those things are usually causing those types of behaviors. So let's stop that. Let's break the pattern. It's time for you to be empowered to start your new year. I'm choosing to be empowered. And also I'm choosing to be a loving person. I'm choosing to also help others. I'm choosing to help myself. You can be all of that, right? Stop the fight from within. All right, so what are you choosing? How do you choose to live your life? How do you choose to feel, to be? What do you choose to do? What are you looking forward to for next year? What are you hoping it brings to you? You're the one who gets to create that and bring it to you. What are your values? So this is kind of all we've talked about. What are your values? How can you begin to live your life in alignment with your new values, like values that you want to have, right? If that's health, like I really want health, I really want a strong body, I really want to feel really good in my body and in my clothes and all that. What do you want? And then how can you live to create that? How can you live to create that in your life? What needs to change? What can I bring into my life? What do I need to let go of? How can I do this? How can I set up powerful, loving boundaries so that this happens? How can I get more support? How can I get more guidance? All of those things. And if you're looking for guidance and support, reach out to me. Like I said, I have those two, plus I have private coaching too. So please reach out to somebody to help you, because it's very rare someone can do all this on their own, because they allow all the old habits, patterns, behaviors, thoughts, all of that to sabotage over and over again. All right. Have an amazing day. Get out your journal, start to journal, start to just sit in a chair, close your eyes, right? And just reflect. And don't forget, gratitude, loving yourself, forgiving yourself, no beating yourself up, no saying I should have, I would have, I could have, oh my God, you should have done this. You didn't do this last year. Don't write out all the things you're mad at yourself for, that's for sure. If you do, burn them, burn them, burn them, burn them. Write out all the wonderful things you've learned about yourself, how you've overcome so many amazing things in your life. Oh my God, last year I overcame this. It was hard. It was a struggle, but I did it. I made it through, right? And you get to do it. And know that, wow, I can trust myself to get through anything. Have an amazing. I'm excited right now to go do my journaling and reflecting on next year too. So I love beginnings, like I said. Remember, fear is expectation of the worst. Excitement is expecting the better. Which energy do you choose to live in? And excitement also takes that faith, trust, and belief in yourself that I can overcome this. I can do it. I can ask for help if I can't do it alone. I have help. I have support. God's source is there for you always. All right. Have an amazing day. Have an amazing day. Have an amazing weekend. I guess it's Friday. So happy New Year to all of you. Bye-bye.